USC Upstate. A great atmosphere, electric environment. Both teams playing to punch their ticket to the big dance.
You are watching ESPN's Championship Week, presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. Today from Jacksonville, Florida, it's the Atlantic Sun Championship as South Carolina Upstate and North Florida meet with history on the line. The first ever NCAA berth for either program. Here's how we got here. North Florida, the #1 seed, won the regular season. They beat 5 seed Lipscomb at home. South Carolina Upstate went on the road and knocked off Dunk City, the 2 seed Florida Gulf Coast. Also of note, Upstate is the only team to hand the Ospreys 2 conference losses this season. For North Florida, a remarkable year thus far, but still their goal in their sight. So close, they can see it.
It starts with a clear vision. Our vision's been clear from the start, baby. What's it been? 1-0. 1-0. It's been clear. There's been no, there's no fog, there's no mist, there's no anything. Our vision is clear. It's 1-0 every night. Now get your body and your mind right. Get your spirit tight. Let's go. Here we go. Chiefs.
What a remarkable atmosphere here at UNF Arena. Tom Hart alongside Mo Cassera. The emotions will be high. How do you deal with it if your coaches are players in this game?
This is a great atmosphere. If you're coaching in this game, you want your team to play within themselves. Stick to your game plan that's worked all season.
The game plan for USC Upstate has been get the ball to Ty Green. He's the Atlantic Sun Player of the Year, and this season he's averaged 32 against the Ospreys.
Deep range, Ty Green, a scorer, a slasher, somebody who can really make things happen on both ends of the court. Also a tremendous defensive player, Player of the Year in the Atlantic Sun.
North Florida has won 7 in a row, in large part thanks to Dallas Moore. He had 36 points in the semis.
The dynamic lefty, a volume scorer, can score his bunches, get his teammates involved. Tremendous player, Dallas Moore.
We've got stars, we've got students, we've got a packed house. One thing we don't have, empty seats. Eddie Payne, the head coach at USC Upstate. Here's how his lineup looks. It's a senior-laden backcourt. Green joined by Blessing and Miller. Eddie Payne, in his 19th season as a head coach, has been to the big dance once. Matthew Driscoll is the head coach at North Florida. They've got shooters of their own. They've set a school record for threes this season. Bo Beach at 6'8" can stroke it from deep. He averaged 6.5 three-point attempts per game. Ty Green, the senior from Knoxville, Tennessee, with a chance to achieve his dream with a tournament berth to the big dance on the line. North Florida in the home whites, USC Upstate in the road black with green.
And North Florida's going to have to work on attacking this zone, a 2-3 and a matchup zone by Upstate all night.
Stolen away by Miller. He will push in a layup for Shunquez Stevens.
Upstate can really get up and down the court. They share the basketball. They love to score in transition.
This is Dallas Moore, sophomore from St. Petersburg, Florida. First team all-conference selection. Extra pass inside, nearly a turnover. Nesbitt dumped it off again. Dallas Moore, no. And it's Ty Green on the glass. Here's Green with the lob and a little too strong. USC Upstate, one of the better offensive rebounding teams in all of Division I college basketball. Can't find the bucket after the kickout.
And for North Florida, you want to attack this zone in a couple places. In that foul line area, middle of the zone, and in the short corners along the baseline.
Nesbitt off the mark and a hard foul on Bo Beach as he crashed the glass.
See here, great defense leads to quick offense. Quick runouts for Upstate, turnover in transition, and throw the ball ahead. And I mentioned it, Upstate really shares the basketball well.
Green has drawn the task of trying to slow down Dallas Moore. He needed just 17 shots to get to 36 points in the semis. And a turnover again. What role do nerves play in the early going of the contest with so much on the line?
A little bit of tight sneakers here this afternoon. Such a great atmosphere, such a great crowd. Got to stay within yourself. Both teams a little bit tight here. North Florida with another turnover.
Green draws a double from 20 feet. Rebounded by Beach. Nesbitt's strong move. Another miss for North Florida.
I like the drive and attack. They were in transition, a little dribble handoff. Try to get into the teeth of that matchup zone. Drive to the basket instead of settling for a long three.
Fred Miller is off the mark. And North Florida still looking for their first bucket. They've got a bump and a foul, and that will go against Mario Blessing. North Florida here in Jacksonville. The Ospreys have only been Division I since 2005, an enrollment of 16,000, and this atmosphere in this building is something new. Their athletic director, Lee Moon, along with Matthew Driscoll, they have built this from the ground up. Ospreys 0 for 3 with 3 turnovers here in the early going.
And that's a little bit of nerves, just a little bit of lackadaisical play. They need to get a stop and a rebound and get out and get something easy in transition.
Michael Buchanan into the game. Green fires a 3, and he's off the mark. A rare miss. He's shooting 51% from 3 over the last 4 games. Another board for Green. He will push it. Stevens, no. And North Florida loses the handle again. Might just be a matter of survival to get to the first media timeout for both coaches. You see Matthew Driscoll. And both programs, they're the top 2 scoring teams in the Atlantic Sun.
2 teams that can both score but can both defend as well. North Florida, the good news is they're one and done. They're doing a nice job of defensive rebounding.
Green's off the mark still. Fade away, DeMarcus Daniels.
Little too much one-on-one play for North Florida. Really haven't been able to get any continuity on offense. Gonna have to look to run some of their man stuff against that matchup zone, maybe set some ball screens.
Teams have combined for just 1 of 11 shooting to start this game. Buchanan inside. He lost it, blocked away by Daniels. Moore behind his back and reverses short. And then Moore stepped on the inline. Only a 2-0 start in this game. 1 for 12 shooting to open the game. A chance for everybody to catch their breath. Back to Jacksonville in a moment.
The presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Dick's Sporting Goods. Sport begs of you this one simple question: who will you be? And new Axe White Label. Feel your finest.
It's the first ever sellout here on campus, and the most impressive part of the crowd here today, 40% of them are students. They were lined up early to get in, knowing what's on the line.
The atmosphere, March Madness, this is the best time of year. This college campus, we've been here for a couple days now, is just filled with excitement. Swoop life has taken over here at North Florida.
Matthew Driscoll is the head coach. He's worked hard to get students fully involved in the program and in the building, and it pays off with a chance to dance today. Now, North Florida, as the regular season champs, are guaranteed their first ever postseason at any basketball level. The NIT will await if they don't win today. This is a team that had never won more than 16 games in a season. school record 22 this year.
And what a job Matt Driscoll's done, former assistant at Baylor, Valpo, been around a lot of places and just done a wonderful job here at North Florida, not only building a team, but a culture.
Well, his defense has held USC Upstate to a 1-for-7 start. He came to Jacksonville last as an assistant for Scott Drew at Baylor. He said, I learned the zone from Drew. I learned my man-to-man principles from Larry Shyatt. And we'll mix them both up today. First make for Dallas Moore and North Florida.
A little floater in the lane. Nice play by Dallas Moore, avoiding the charge, rising up, attacking in that defense in the roof. Kind of ready to come off this building with that one.
Josh Cuthbert's in on the floor now for USC Upstate. Here's Buchanan into the paint. And the big fella at 6'11", 250 with a bucket.
Buchanan's an interesting story. 0 scholarships out of high school. Young man from Las Vegas has lost a ton of weight. Was actually so heavy his junior year in high school, didn't make the team. Great development there at USC Upstate.
He was only 6'6" his junior year. He was sprouted to nearly be a 7-footer. Got a guard, Bo Beach. And an offensive board for North Florida, their third of the game. Nesbitt, reverse, back-to-back buckets after an 0-for-6 start.
Offensive rebound, kick it out, share the basketball, skip it across, make that defense move, and attack the rim. Nice offense for North Florida.
Ty Green hasn't gotten going yet for USC Upstate. He averages 20 points a game. He had 32 the last time he played in this gym.
You see the skip pass here, and what that does, it's hard to defend that skip pass and then attack the rim, don't settle for a jump shot. North Florida doing a better job on offense.
Off the inbounds, an air ball for Green. He's the conference player of the year, and he has yet to score in the first 6 minutes. Nesbitt again.
That's a second great pass by Bo Beach, somebody who's struggled a little bit to score. 1 for 10 in his last game, hasn't scored here, but he's sharing the basketball. Nice cut through the middle of that matchup zone.
Cuthbertson can't hit. USC Upstate, ice cold from the floor to start this game. A three, got it! It's a 7-0 run for North Florida. Green trying to get going. What do they need to do to get Green involved?
Green's got to keep moving. He's got to stay away from the basketball. Probably he's up top where they're just matching up with him, try to get something coming off the baseline, keep moving. He just hasn't been able to get a good look.
He's on the right wing now. Fred Miller off balance, circus shot. The shot in the arm that the Spartans were looking for.
Talking to the staff at North Florida yesterday, they believe Fred Miller may be one of the most complete players in the league.
All alone on the baseline was Nesbitt. He scored 6 all from point-blank range.
Extra passing, pass up a good shot for what I call a great shot. Right in the interior of the offense. Great job, North Florida.
And another turnover. Out front, Dallas Moore. Ospreys have made each of their last 5 field goals. Eddie Payne sees his Spartans down 7. The defense turned to offense. The steal by Beach. And the finish by Dallas Moore. Ospreys with the early swoop.
It's also coming up. James Woodard for Tulsa taking on SMU just under 10 minutes away from tip-off there. That game 3 p.m. Eastern on ESPNU as the action keeps on coming. Back to Tom and Mo, guys.
All right, Adnan, thanks. Yeah, maybe there's a bid stealer out of the Valley today. Eddie Payne knows all about that. The head coach at USC Upstate has been to the NCAA tournament once as a head coach. He's in his 13th season here, 19th overall, and in 1993, his East Carolina Pirates were the 7th seed in the CAA. They won the tournament. They lost to Dean Smith in North Carolina in the first round. Carolina would go on to win the national championship that year.
Really enjoyed talking to him yesterday. The only coach who's won and, coached at all levels, all 3 NCAA divisions, NAIA, junior college. His longevity in this business is incredible.
He's one of 6 active coaches in college basketball this season to have coached his school at both the Division II and Division I level. USC Upstate wasn't Division I until the 2007-8 season. This is a young program. Dallas Moore, the lefty. And across the inline, last touched by the Spartans.
A little bit of a defensive breakdown there for Upstate. Dallas Moore, very strong left-handed. Got to make him come back to his right hand, allowing him to get all the way to the basket.
Moore stepped on the sideline. These 2 teams don't typically turn it over. They average less than 23 combined, 10 for the Spartans and 12 for the Ospreys. But Butterfingers early from both sides.
5th turnover, a little uncharacteristic of North Florida, a little jitters as the excitement builds here in this building.
What can you do as a coach to calm your team down?
One thing you try to do in the next time out is maybe run a set play or run something that you have a lot of confidence in. We see a lot of physical play here under the basket.
It's the first on DeMarcus Daniels. And Matthew Driscoll is upset for good reason. Anthony Jordan made that call from 30 feet away from the play, and the official on the baseline didn't blow his whistle.
That's why I'm sitting over here, partner. I'm much better at handling a call like that sitting here in my seat. Coach Driscoll, what energy and passion he has not only for this great game of college basketball, but for this university, this community. Just a tremendous job and a wonderful person to be around.
Shunquez Stevens has 2 shots. He's a unique story. A former college quarterback. He was the starter at Alabama State coming out of high school in Flowery Branch, Georgia. Then he went to Highland Community College, and he called up the assistant Kyle Perry, and he said, I know you were interested before. I want to give basketball a try. You still got room for me? Let's watch you work out. It didn't, and they got him to campus.
Love having a quarterback on your team, somebody who just knows how to do all the intangibles, be a leader. We see Upstate again with this matchup zone, giving North Florida some fits in the half court.
3 ball goes from DeMarcus Daniels, his 2nd.
This is a team that shoots a ton of threes. They've made 10 threes 19 times this season.
School record 306 now. And North Florida has doubled up USC Upstate, and they've been in firm control.
One and done, long, rangy North Florida team. They can really rebound. Haven't given Upstate many second chances.
Trent Mackey onto the floor. He's a great shooter as well. Shot clock in single digits. Daniels kicks. Moore for 3. And another offensive rebound. Another 3 ball. And an open floor takedown from the Ospreys. And Chris Davenport, his first personal foul.
See here, a little kick to the corner, that matchup zone, a little bit of a late switch, and North Florida shoots the 3 awful well.
It's a 16-8 lead for the Ospreys of North Florida, looking for their first ever NCAA berth. Play of Ty Green, the conference player of the year, is 0 for 4 thus far today.
Player of the year in the league, just hasn't got a lot of good looks. Obviously the key point of North Florida's defense.
He's shadowed now by Bo Beach, who's 6'8". And they're switching everything on him. Green trying to work the big, fading away. 0 for 5 start. There he is.
That's what great scorers do. They just keep coming at you and coming at you. Instead of settling for another long shot, get something going to the basket. Nice little runner there for the player of the year in the A-Sun, Ty Green.
Devin Wilson on the floor for the first time. He turns it over. Spartans looking for a run now that they've got their star involved in the offense. Oh. Sleepy Floyd can relate. Green thought Anthony Jordan was on his team. Here he is hitting his first shot.
And this is what great scorers do. They just keep coming at you. Find different ways to score baskets. Get into the paint there. A little pull-up runner. Ty Green, tremendous all-around player.
Well, there's so much on the line for these kids in these programs. Neither has ever been to the NCAA tournament. How do you control those nerves and the expectations of what happens today for the winner and how it changes lives?
It really does. Such a big environment here, such a big stage for these kids who work so hard to build these programs, and what a great opportunity to go to the postseason. So as a coach, you want to try to kind of compartmentalize 4-minute shifts and little things here and there to try to slow your team down.
Davenport over the top of Schulte. It's a first bucket for Chris Davenport. Green for 3. He's warming up, folks. Ty Green, the senior from Knoxville, Tennessee.
Defensive breakdown there for North Florida. Got to stay with that screen. Get your hands up because he's got great legs. He can really rise up and shoot the ball over high hands.
He missed each of his first 5 shots. North Florida has had success in the paint. 10 of their 18 points have come in the paint thus far. Devin Wilson tees it up. That's only his 8th 3 of the season. Everybody's feeling it for the Ospreys.
Another breakdown in that matchup zone where you keep trading players off. They lose the three-point shooter in the corner. Another 3 for the Ospreys.
Too strong with the shot clock winding down. Ty Green told me before the game today that the Spartans don't want to get in a track meet with the Ospreys. Beach with the height advantage. But how much does that take away from what Upstate has done all season?
They've been a team that can really get up and down, score quick. North Florida staff was concerned about that, talking to them yesterday in practice. But they've tried to slow the pace here down a little bit, try to control this environment.
They held Florida Gulf Coast to just 62 points in the semis. Able to change the tempo then. 3 ball from the wing. It's the first for Shunquez Stevens. Might turn into a shooting contest here this afternoon.
Nice little hustle play by Mario Blessing there, tipping the ball to his teammate.
Crossover in the foul. It's Bo Beach's first, and it will put Ty Green at the free throw line when we return.
For North Florida, take advantage of a little defensive breakdown on this matchup zone. Kick to the corner. Devin Wilson for 3. The Ospreys of North Florida with the lead.
All right, Adnan, thanks. Here, North Florida leads South Carolina Upstate by 5, nearly 5.5 to go in the first. It is championship week presented by Dick's Sporting Goods, and the West Coast Conference Tournament takes center stage with both semifinal games Monday night on ESPN and ESPN2. who will survive and advance to the championship game. The first WCC semifinal is at 9 Eastern on ESPN, followed by Portland BYU at 11:30 on ESPN2. BYU is one of those teams living on the bubble right now.
They are, but there's a dangerous team, BYU. They can really score. They've got veteran guys, and they're playing very well right now. And that's a key heading into March Madness.
Ty Green at the free throw line. I was watching Ty during warm-ups, and so were the Osprey fans. In fact, the fans behind him at this point booed every single shot that he made and cheered everyone that he missed.
You know, interestingly enough, for a great scorer and shooter, he's only a 74% foul shooter. You see it there. Not a great free throw shooter. He's better with somebody in his face, moving his feet.
What are the particulars of this zone that they're playing?
Now, you can see Upstate pointing and passing players off. It's a matchup zone. They're constantly trying to get better matchups.
Led to another offensive rebound, the 7th of the day, and it leads to a 3 for Moore. Skip pass intercepted by Moore. Back to the Spartans. And the layup for Tristan Thomas. Trip to the free throw line for Jalen Nesbitt. It's the first on Jacob Schulte.
One of the hardest things to defend in college basketball is that offensive rebound, second chance opportunity, where you get a rebound and then you kick it back out. It's so hard to close out. Nice open three for Dallas Moore with his feet set, a lot of confidence. You see North Florida back to the foul line here. Coach Payne upset with that last play. Team not staying on their feet.
Fred Miller, second in the league in assists, better than 4 per game. He can run the point or play the 3, and right now he's handling the basketball. Green off the curl, runs into 3 Ospreys. Ty Green is a 46% shooter. But not today.
He's going to keep shooting them, though. He's averaging almost 24 points a game over their last 4. Ball's going to continue to go through his hands.
Off the glass and in for DeMarcus Daniels.
You know what's interesting? We're seeing North Florida go to the basket a lot and use a lot of their interior size and length for a team that shoots so many threes during the regular season.
Miller gets around Daniels. Second bucket for Fred Miller.
Complete player, slasher, scorer, can run the team, play the point, and guard the other team's best player sometimes, as we see him here, continue to guard Bo Beach.
Miller's got the rebound, the senior from Atlanta. Spent 3 years behind Torrey Craig, now playing pro ball, and Miller with another bucket. He's got a half dozen. Miller can do everything. Last time out in the semis, he had a career-high 10 rebounds for the point guard. Upstate has closed to within 5. 3:01 to go in the first in Jacksonville. Continues from Mohegan Sun Arena. Semis tonight, UConn against 5-seed East Carolina on ESPNU, followed by 2-seed South Florida and Tulane. Packed house here in Jacksonville. And I don't know if the students have yet to sit. It was a tailgate atmosphere this afternoon in the sunshine of the First Coast before they were warming up, getting ready to come in, and they forced another Upstate turnover. Ty Green sat for about 6 seconds. He's back on the floor for the Spartans when we return.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Burger King. Right now, get 10 delicious chicken nuggets for just $1.49, only at Burger King.
Thanks, Adnan. Yeah, here in Jacksonville, it's a 5-point lead for North Florida. Upstate trying to go on a run here. This is still a very young program when it comes to their basketball history. They're located in Spartanburg, South Carolina, a school founded in 1967. A name change recently. Enrollment of 5,500. They first joined Division I in 2007. Now, they had a run earlier this season where they played 4 major schools in a row in December, Mo. They won at Georgia Tech. They lost at Maryland and Memphis, and they closed with the win against Rick Ray's Mississippi State Spartans. How will that help them today?
Helps them this time of year because they've played in big environments, they've played on big stages, and the excitement and passion of those games kind of translates now as they're in the biggest game of their lives here in North Florida.
And one coming. Buchanan got whistled for the touch foul. And DeMarcus Daniels is having a half. He's already eclipsed his scoring average, now with 10.
DeMarcus Daniels, nicknamed Bebe, Defensive Player of the Year in the Atlantic Sun, but he's really the guy that could dominate the game on both ends. 51 blocks this season, but offensively been a real threat here in the first half.
Now leads the Atlantic Sun in blocks, and he makes it a 3-point play. Now 11, and the lead back to 8 for the Ospreys. Ty Green scored 32 points last time in this gym. He only has 5 through the first 18 today. Hangs and it rolls off. It's been that kind of half for Ty Green. They just haven't fallen. Daniels gave it up. And another whistle against the Spartans. That one on Fred Miller, his first. Pardon me, his second. Stevens returns, Schulte back on the floor for Upstate, and another free throw for Chris Davenport. Sophomore from Atlanta, out of Eagles Landing High School. Largest lead of the game now for North Florida, up by 10.
Now this is an important minute and a half here for Upstate. Need to get something going to the basket, get themselves to the foul line, or obviously get Ty Green a clean look.
Green shadowed by Nesbitt at 6'6". Can't shake him. Miller trying to break down his man, and he walked with it. 5th turnover for USC Upstate here in the first half.
Upstate has struggled to get any continuity offensively, but let's give a lot of credit to North Florida. Their defense and team defense has been outstanding.
Eddie Payne wants a timeout with 1:25 to go in the half, and his team trailing by double digits. Two franchises kick off the 2014 MLS season on ESPN. World Cup winners Kaká and David Villa lead their teams to battle on North American soil. Orlando City SC versus New York City FC. Today at 4:30 Eastern on ESPN2 and watch ESPN. Well, DeMarcus Daniels has a defensive reputation. He's been on fire on the offensive end today.
He's been everywhere, Mr. Do Everything. And for a team that shoots so many threes, they've continued to go to him because of his presence around the basket, his ability to score, his size and length. This North Florida team is a very long and athletic team, and that's given Upstate some trouble here. Let's not forget, this Upstate team has won 5 straight against North Florida.
They're in both matchups this season. Nesbitt, what a move. He just powered his way through the lane. Hey, you know who loves this, Mo? Sports Center anchor Sarah Walsh is a North Florida alum. She's jumping over her coffee table right now with the Ospreys a half away from their first ever tournament berth. Thrown away and a steal by Fred Miller.
Fred Miller just keeps his team alive. Both ends of the court, very active. Important offensive possession here for Upstate.
It will stay with the Spartans. The clock kept running as that ball went out of bounds, but it settles at 41.
Attacking that matchup zone has created a lot of mismatches, and North Florida has continued to just drive the ball to the basket. For Upstate here, great opportunity to get a basket or a score out of a set play out of bounds, something you work on every day in practice if you're a coach. You see Eddie Payne here. Opportunity here, a little bit of a catch your breath, baseline out of bounds, scoring opportunity.
Anthony Jordan put 42 seconds on the clock after he continued to run. Shot clock at 8. Here's Miller. A 3-ball goes. It's Mario Blessing with his first bucket at an opportune time.
Young man from Germany, not a scorer, but an all-around tough, hard-nosed player. Big 3 there for Upstate.
Spartans looking for a stop and some momentum going into the locker room. Stevens has it. And that's how the half comes to an end. 34-25. North Florida with the lead over South Carolina Upstate. Let's take you to the studio for a quick update from Adnan Burke. ESPN's Championship Week presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. From Jacksonville, Florida, we are set for the second half. The Ospreys of North Florida with a 34-25 lead at the break. They search for their first ever NCAA tournament berth. Welcome back, everybody. Tom Hart alongside Mo Cassera. Okay, 20 minutes left in this game, and the math is really simple for the Ospreys to realize the dream.
It's simple math. Coach Driscoll's been talking about this all the time. Go 1-0 tonight. They have a chance, 20 minutes to go 1-0 and punch your ticket to the big dance.
We thought our stars would be the story, but they really haven't produced like we expected thus far tonight. In fact, for USC Upstate, the Conference Player of the Year, Ty Green, has been struggling today.
And a lot of credit to North Florida's defense. Ty Green has not been able to get a clean look throughout the game. High hands, contested jump shots. Everywhere he's gone, he's been frustrated tonight on offense.
And on the other side for North Florida, an unexpected punch from DeMarcus Daniels.
DeMarcus Daniels, normally a defensive presence, a guy that can dominate the game on the other end, but his offense and his interior size and length has been so super for North Florida here in the first half.
Well, the first half statistical leaders, you won't find Ty Green's name on that list for South Carolina Upstate. Just 5 points on 2 for 11 shooting. Daniels with 11 and 4. Give me a number that Green needs to reach in the second half for the Spartans to win this game.
20, partner. He needs 20 points in the second half to give his team a chance. He's a dynamic scorer. He's got to get 20 to give them a chance.
Spartan fans should love to hear that, because January 31st here in this building, they were down 8 at the half. They came back and won by 5. Green in the second half, 5 of 7 from deep. He ended up with 20 points after the break. Good start on a 15-footer from Shenquez Stevens.
Good start, great coaching. Out of the timeout, halftime, run a set play where you know you can get a basket and get a little confidence, a little pick and roll up. Nice finish there by Stevens.
Dallas Moore had 36 the last game for North Florida. He's on the right wing. He only has 7 in this first half. Davenport, no, an offensive foul. And if the Spartans can build on this, Eddie Payne will be back in business.
This is a veteran team. You see a little push off there. Doesn't look like it as much from that angle. From the angle we were at watching it live, it looked a little bit more like an offensive foul.
Blessing hit a big 3 at the end of the half for Upstate. His only bucket of the game. Miller goes baseline for the layup. A 4-0 start for the Spartans.
Talking to Coach Payne yesterday, he loves his seniors. They've got seniors who know how to play and know how to win, and those 3 seniors have pushed them all season. They're going to push them and give them a chance in the second half.
Beautiful look inside, and a hard foul to keep Banks away from the easy deuce.
Little ball screen here. Refuse the ball screen, drive to the basket. Fred Miller has done a nice job all afternoon of being on attack mode and not settling for jump shots, continuing to attack that rim.
Romello Banks, sophomore from Kissimmee, Florida, at the free throw line. Looking for his first point today. Empty possession for the Ospreys.
And this is the start in the second half. Upstate needed a little offensive continuity. They're going to try to run Green off some double screens down low.
Green got a bump from Beach. Wanted the whistle. He's not going to get it. That must be frustrating as a scorer. He's been swallowed up by the 6'8" Bo Beach. Miller. 6-0 start for Upstate.
You can see the confidence just growing. Nice offensive possession, not because they scored, but because they shared the ball and they didn't take a quick bad shot.
Post players have been big for the Ospreys today. Taken away. Chunquez Stevens with the steal. Blessing. No. There's a Buffalo Wild Wings in the Upstate right now that was about to go nuts if that three went down. A blocking foul and 2 shots coming for Romello Banks.
Now for Upstate, take your time, settle down. They've got a little confidence here on offense, and it's really been the Fred Miller show. North Florida has done a nice job of taking Ty Green out of the play offensively and really out of the continuity, and Fred Miller's taken advantage of that and gotten a lot of nice looks.
Another free throw coming for Romello Banks out of Celebration High School down in Kissimmee, who at age of 13 was told by his mother to never, ever give up on his basketball dreams. She passed away just a few weeks later, and he lives with that memory as he tries to push the Ospreys to the NCAA tournament.
And he's talked a lot about how Matt Driscoll has pushed him like a father, constantly pushing him and challenging him.
There's a bump on the outside. Ty Green applauds even though he wasn't the one fouled. It's a physical play, and the perimeter is kind of upset Upstate so far today.
North Florida is trying to hedge aggressively on ball screens, and what that means is when the ball screen comes, they're going to continue to stay with the ball handler till they can switch back. Upstate's trying to take advantage of that mismatch in the size and attack the basket.
Green uses the screen, nothing there. The give and go, and we got a kick. It will stay with Upstate. With 21 seconds on the shot clock. Three minutes into the second half. And Upstate on a 6-0 run. Green just got hammered trying to get around the screen. Ty Green gets past 2 defenders. Little floater goes. All 8 points in the second half belong to the Spartans and his parents. Sitting on pins and needles, David and Debbie. Great D by Buchanan. Another miss for the Ospreys. Spartans have a chance to take the lead. In the paint, Buchanan stripped, and he'll go to the line.
Ty Green, the pride of Knoxville, Tennessee. You think there's anybody in Tennessee that wish they offered this guy a scholarship? The MVP, most outstanding player in the Atlantic Sun, just knows how to score.
Michael Buchanan, a sophomore from Vegas, at the free throw line, just 58% on the season. And he's shooting into one of the most distracting backgrounds in college basketball today. The home of the Ospreys, and these students have been on their feet all afternoon. 1-2. Tie ball game. North Florida 0 for 5.5. 0 for 6 to start. The prosperity has been gone. Here's Cuthbertson. Goaltending. Upstate on an 11-0 run. Timeout, North Florida. USC Upstate has done it with defense and offense in the second half. Putnam, a freshman from Palm Coast, Florida. He's a baritone player in the band. He's also part hype man. And he is turning into a celebrity right before our very eyes. He is so good doing his thing in the band that after the game against Florida Gulf Coast earlier this season, he needs a break. Some of the alums got together and said, we need to put that kid on scholarship. He has earned a book scholarship and the adoration of 2,500 of his classmates here in this building. What he can't do, though, is play defense. And thus far, it's an 11-0 run for Upstate in the second half with the Ospreys 0 for 4 from the floor.
And it's really been the Upstate team defense here to start the second half.
Nesbitt got it. That ends the skid.
Nice coaching by Matt Driscoll, Bobby Kennan, and their staff. Going inside out, throw it in, kick it out, tough to defend. Nice three out of the timeout.
Buchanan, offensive foul. They say he hooked Davenport. That's the fourth on the big guy. Much to his dismay, we've got a ball game. 15.5 minutes from one of these teams going dancing for the first time. North Florida with the extra pass, and Nesbitt here in Freetown. 9-point deficit and outscored North Florida 11-3 here in the second half. We've got a 1-point game in the Atlantic Sun championship game. And the A-Sun has thrown some doozies out there the last 2 years. Last year, 14-seed Mercer took down 3-seed Duke before falling to a Sweet 16 Tennessee squad in the third round. And of course, Dunk City, Florida Gulf Coast, ran roughshod over Georgetown, San Diego State before running into Florida in the Sweet 16. Can Matthew Driscoll's team or Eddie Payne's team pull a similar upset if they get in?
These are teams that could beat any high major team. They've played high major teams throughout the season, got size and experience.
As of this morning, Joe Lunardi had the winner of this game playing in the play-in game, and then a 16 seed opposite undefeated Kentucky. We get a whistle and an and one. DeMarcus Daniels going to the line. Schulte commits his second.
Bebe Daniels, they call him. He's been the difference in this game. Shot fake, get the defense in the air and get to the foul line. And what that also does is allow you to set your defense. Doesn't let Upstate get out, get a quick, easy transition basket. Free throw here, set your defense. That's what it's going to come down to, defensive stops and rebounds.
Back-to-back three-point plays for North Florida. It's a 4-point lead. Both of these teams have played big opponents. Upstate won on the road at Georgia Tech. UNF beat Purdue out of the Big Ten. Here's Green. Floater's good. He's got 9.
Ty Green plays with great pace. He can move the ball, shot fake, takes his time. He's got great legs. Another great scoring opportunity there for Upstate.
He may only have 9, but he's made Bo Beach work so hard on the defensive end that Beach has been held scoreless thus far. Loose ball, and it belongs to the Spartans. Miller and Green have played together now for 4 years. Miller directing the superstar, trying to get him a look. Instead, backdoor to Schulte. What a fantastic play by the Spartans. And Chris Davenport commits his 3rd personal foul.
And what a pass by Fred Miller. The whole defense slides out to try to take Ty Green away from the play, and then the young freshman dives to the basket, threads the needle. And here we see Green, who's just a tremendous scorer. Shot fake, rise up, play without getting the charge from the young players out there. See how he rises up and doesn't get that offensive foul. Scorer extraordinaire, Ty Green.
Bo Beach back on the floor. He averages 13 points a game. Top 10 scorer in the A-Sun. He's scoreless as far this afternoon. But as I mentioned, he's been a shutdown defensive assignment over Ty Green. Schulte missed them both, but off of North Florida.
Young freshman, a little bit of nerves there on the foul line. He's in a big position here.
So a new possession for the Spartans. Trailing by 2. They're down 9 at the half.
See Green there. He's become a screener. There's a saying in basketball, the better you screen sometimes, the more you'll be open. And he's such a team guy. He's willing to set screens and get his teammates open. They tried that there in that set out of bounds play.
Off the glass, and Fred Miller's got a dozen. We're tied again.
Yeah, sorry, partner. Fred Miller's been the difference. He just continues to be aggressive on offense, has really attacked the basket.
Ball fake. Here comes Stevens into the hands of Cuthbertson. Oh, he fell down, trying to get it to Stevens, who hit the deck, and it's more the other way. Tough break, Upstate. And the officials are going to stop play here to get that slick spot tended to. You never know in a championship game what's going to make a difference.
Easy baskets in transition. Dallas Moore, the dynamic Dallas Moore, the lefty. At 36, a quiet 36 in their last game. Coach Driscoll said, you know, I looked at the basket, I couldn't believe he had 36. I don't think that guy does anything quietly. What a score.
It helps when you score 14 of your team's first 16 points out of the locker room. Ty Green has 9 points. He averages 20. Shot clock at 6. Schulte, a foul. Will they count it? They get the foul on Trent Mackey, and we've got 2 shots coming. It was just a straight block on Schulte's move.
Fans in the crowd here don't like that one. A little bit of a clean block, but some body play there. Sends the young man from Newport, Kentucky, back to the foul line.
Out of Newport Central Catholic. USC Upstate isn't a team that gets to the free throw line very often. Only 17% of the points come from the charity stripe. That is bottom 20 in the country. First point for Jacob Schulte. Corner 3. And you could hear the coaching staff for Upstate begging a defender to find the shooter in the corner. They're lucky it fell off the rim.
It's a very difficult defense that they play. It requires an incredible amount of communication, this matchup zone that Upstate plays. Coach Payne, interestingly enough, said, it's taken me 30 years. I finally decided to play some zone, and he likes it. It's been very successful for his team, but in this environment, very tough to trade off players.
Bo Beach still scoreless.
Bo Beach is the guy they just need to get going. Just can't seem to get it going offensively, but I'll tell you what, he's been great on the defensive end here for North Florida.
Switching every screen for Green. He still blows through the D and puts it off the window. He's got 6 this half. Nice spin move. Great D by Schulte. And it's off of Upstate. And we'll stay with North Florida. You said Ty Green needs 20 in the second half. He's starting to get it going.
Ty Green getting going, attacking the basket. Upstate with the lead.
The baubles that are on the line, a trophy to the winner, but most importantly, the first ever trip for one of these two young programs to the NCAA tournament. Already Belmont on that thriller last night and Coastal Carolina earlier today. Good recovery, and now Beach still can't hit it. He is 0 for 4 today.
Just hasn't been able to get in a rhythm, a guy that they need to score, but he's got to keep shooting. Great shooters, keep shooting, find a way to get some baskets at home here for North Florida.
Ty Green spins, hangs, hits, and he's going to the line.
Now, for your fans watching, what this is called is refusing a ball screen. Everybody sets up for Ty Green to use the ball screen. He's so crafty, he doesn't use it, attacks the basket, and he can really hang in the air and finish. Trying to finish the three-point play the hard way. And the Spartans up 4.
Bruce Pearl offered Ty Green a chance as a preferred walk-on to play at the University of Tennessee. He said, I need to go somewhere else and make an impact. He did. The ASUN Freshman of the Year in 2012, and this season, the Conference Player of the Year. Reach in by Miller. It's the third on Fred Miller.
See, North Florida's gotten a little stagnant on offense. That matchup zone. When they attacked it well, they had some cutters going down through the middle of the basket, around that foul line area. They were constantly moving, a little bit of standing around now as they've lost the lead here at home, but a lot of basketball to play. They've got to continue to move that basketball, and they shoot threes as well as anybody in the country.
And a slow second half for the Ospreys. He's 3 of 10 from the floor. D by Green. Ty Green starting to do it all for Upstate. No numbers here. And Green turned his left ankle. He's trying to walk it off at the top of your screen.
And he hurt that ankle a couple weeks ago. They said he's been spending countless hours in the training room trying to get himself back to 100%.
If the rest of the team can pick up the slack. Smith. Beach has done about everything but score for North Florida this afternoon. Another board.
And that's the defensive possession they needed.
The right hand from the lefty. Oh, foul jam! DeMarcus Daniels. Deep three. Schulte all alone. Goaltending, they'll count it on the follow from Jacob Schulte.
When you're not shooting the ball really well and you're struggling on offense, go to the offensive glass. baby! DeMarcus Daniels with the flush.
Back-to-back buckets on offensive rebounds. One on the North Florida side with a little oomph on the other side for USC Upstate. It was Schulte. Here's Beach. Height advantage. The kick and the three. What a save by Davenport. Now Ty Green. Taken away by Dallas Moore. Loose ball. Who wants it? Ospreys have it. It's getting frantic. Moore. No. Offensive putback. Davenport again.
What an atmosphere, huh?
Green with the left, got it blocked. Mackey. Oh, these teams are so close. And they're also so close to the big dance. 7:48 to go in this packed house in Jacksonville. Incredible, and it's a 2-point lead for South Carolina Upstate right now over North Florida. It's championship week, presented by Dick's Sporting Goods, and the West Coast Conference Tournament takes center stage with both semifinal games Monday night on ESPN and ESPN2. First, it's a 7-seed Gonzaga against Pepperdine, and then the nightcap on ESPN2 Portland against BYU. You know what's perfect for these students who have filled this building? 40% of the crowd today, by the way, is students, and it's a record crowd here. If somehow North Florida can come back and win this game, their trip, their first ever trip to the NCAA tournament, would coincide with spring break here at UNF. Everybody in the country wants to come to Florida for spring break. I think these kids want to go to Dayton for spring break.
They absolutely would love to go to Ohio in March.
DeMarcus Daniels is working on a career high. He's tied it now with 17. He's from Turner County High School in Ashburn, Georgia. He said, my junior year of high school, my coach told me, if you ever want to win, you need to play defense. The A-Sun Defensive Player of the Year with an offensive outburst thus far today. And we're tied again. Ty Green on the bench for the moment for USC Upstate. He won't be there long. Too high for Buchanan. Ospreys looking for another lead. Nice look. And a trip to the line coming for Davenport. There's the 9th team foul on USC Upstate.
I mentioned this before, when North Florida's attacking that matchup zone, it's really important that the Ospreys get some cutters. And when those cutters go down through the middle of the lane, they're very hard to defend. Chris Davenport to the line.
Green is back.
Yeah, he wasn't out too long, was he?
No. Not just hard to defend, but then the foul's starting to pile up for Upstate. Schulte's with 3, Buchanan 4, and Miller with 3.
And those big bodies in North Florida just kind of wearing down on Upstate a little bit, as the momentum now is back to North Florida as they continue this aggressive defense in front of this raucous crowd.
Dallas Moore is hurt. It's a 5-on-4 look in the half court, and they can't convert. Moore can't guard Blessing. He can barely move.
And both teams are a little bit tired right now. They're going to try to run a little set play here to get Blessing the ball and take advantage of the injury.
Here's Green. In control, left it short. He took a shot to the face and no whistle. Both stars have been stunned here in the second half. Moore's ankle, Green's face.
Both teams playing incredibly hard. Officials letting them play. And let's be honest here, both teams just giving it everything they got. Offensively, defensively, hustle plays. And the atmosphere here continues to build.
Beach still struggling to find the rim. Out of bounds to Upstate.
Bo Beach, we mentioned, was 1 for 10 in their last game against Lipscomb. And he was out here early shooting today, working on his regular routine. Just hasn't been able to get it going offensively, but now it doesn't matter. It's about getting defensive stops and rebounds if you're North Florida.
UNF 5 of 21 from deep this afternoon. They made their living behind the line. Miller with the left. Buchanan kept it alive. Another 50-50 ball goes to Upstate.
Football player got that one. There was no question about that.
Green rejected and off the backboard. Davenport swats it. Beautiful look, and it goes.
This is what it's all about. Team defense, stay with the play, and then attack in transition. When Upstate's defense is not set, that's when North Florida's been so effective throwing the ball ahead. That's how you get easy baskets in transition. You see Coach Driscoll and his staff trying to calm his team down here a little bit as the roof just about came off the building after that basket, partner.
Matthew Driscoll, a longtime assistant, Wyoming, Clemson, Valparaiso, Baylor. Before that, Northgate High School, Butler Community College, Seneca Valley High School. He has built this program basically from the ground up. And a veteran in the other huddle, Eddie Payne, in his 19th season, has coached in the NCAA tournament just once. That was 1993. How long ago was it? Chris Webber, Bobby Hurley, Jason Kidd, Brent Hill, and Jamal Mashburn all played in that tournament.
Those guys have all hung them up by now. They're doing TV like me. Those guys are hung up, and Coach Payne's still going. And what a credit to North Florida. I mean, this is a team. This is the only team in the country that has over 20 wins, and they've played 20 non-home games. These programs have such a long road to hoe to get to this situation.
It would be their first ever tournament berth for both. 8-0 run for the Ospreys. Ty Green hounded by Moore. The screen. Green, wide right. Stolen away. And then a foul on Nesbitt. It's his second.
You know, and a little bit of a mistake there by North Florida. You don't want to throw the ball to Chris Davenport on the wing at the three-point line. You know, a 6'8", 210-pound sophomore center is handling the ball in the corner in the biggest game of your season. If you're the point guard there, you know, if you're Dallas Moore, a little bit of a mistake. Keep the ball in your hands. You dictate the tempo, and you dictate the play.
Fred Miller, senior from Atlanta, spent 3 years playing behind Torrey Craig in the backcourt. Missed front ends will kill you.
Taking care of the basketball and free throw shooting. That's what wins games in the last 3 or 4 minutes. Going to be critical for both teams as we head into the last time out here.
Schulte with the rebound. Ty Green in the open floor. Hesitation move, floater, no. He's been tantalizingly close. So has Moore. Turnover, Upstate. Madness in Jacksonville.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Dick's Sporting Goods. Sport begs of you this one simple question: who will you be? And the all-new 2015 Acura TLX. It's that
LS team in Orlando, two very new basketball programs at the Division I level battling here. And the Women's American Tournament continues on ESPNU tonight at 5:30. 5 seed East Carolina will try to upset number 1 UConn. And then South Florida and Tulane in the nightcap. The championship game Monday night at 7 on ESPN.
Now a little coaching coming into play here. If you're North Florida in the huddle, you're talking about running your best offensive play. Get the ball where we could score the best, probably going through Daniel's hands. And if you're Upstate, sit down, play without fouling, stop and a rebound.
Beautiful finish by Jalen Nesbitt. The senior from Spartanburg has 16. Desperation time for South Carolina Upstate. And their star Ty Green gives it up. Miller left it short.
Jalen Nesbitt doesn't settle for a jump shot. He attacks the basket. And what that does is put pressure on the Upstate defense. So worst case scenario, he's going to the foul line. But boy, the young man from Spartanburg would like to get this one. Great attack.
Nothing run to take control. Turned over. Green itching for a touch. He'll let it fly. Got it! Ty Green. A school record three-pointer. More important than it pulls his team to within 5.
And what a fabulous pass by Mario Blessing. Knowing where his scorer is, knowing where his shooter is, getting themselves back in the game. Comes down to stops and rebounds now for the Spartans.
Daniels backing his man down. Career high 20 for DeMarcus Daniels.
Not only did he make the basket, but he took advantage of a mismatch. He recognized the switch against the matchup zone. Right in the basket.
Slicing through for 2+. Fred Miller's got 14, and he stops the clock with a trip to the line.
Fred Miller has been slashing and attacking all night. Really kept his team in the game here. One of the most dynamic and aggressive players in this league. Chance to get to the foul line. Against this crowd. And then set their defense for the Spartans.
Missed opportunity for USC Upstate.
A lot of credit to Bo Beach. He's continued to rebound and battle, even though he hasn't been able to get it going offensively. And if you're North Florida, take care of the basketball. Time and possession now.
Loose ball to Green. Coaching staff says push it. They need tempo here. Fred Miller. No. Loose ball. Saved on the baseline. Tremendous play by Stevens, a former quarterback. We approach 1 minute to play with a berth to the big dance on the line. Schulte got it back. Trap gave it up. And then Green with the foul. His first.
Aggressive play here, the young fella trying to keep it alive. And how about the energy and effort? Multiple efforts here by everybody. These two teams have just left it all out on this court today.
Standing room only crowd has turned out here in Jacksonville to see North Florida for their first chance to make it to the NCAA tournament. Here's Daniels. After today, he will not be described as a defensive standout. He's got a career-high 21. The lead is 7. Miller for 2. No. Ospreys so close they can taste it. Sarah Walsh, the SportsCenter anchor on college, she's jumping up and down in her living room.
Jumping up and down, and so is the entire city of Jacksonville. What a credit to this town and community. This environment is just incredible here this afternoon.
Folks, you are seeing what it looks like for a dream to be realized. This program in 1992 was an NAIA program, Division II, from 93 to 05. And the regular season Atlantic Sun champs are now 37 seconds away from the big dance, thanks in large part to DeMarcus Daniels.
The 6'7" junior has outstanding length, hands. He's aggressive around the basket all night, and he's really been an offensive threat, an opportunistic scorer. He's kept the basketball alive with offensive rebounds, tips. He's been talking to his team, making free throws. Mr. Everything tonight, DeMarcus Daniels.
He's North Florida's competitive edge, brought to you by Principal Financial Group. 16 for Nesbitt, 22 for Daniels. Right now, Joe Lenardi has the winner of this game penciled in to the first 4 in Dayton. And then, if you can win there, a date with Kentucky awaits. But we are weeks ahead of ourselves with that one.
The fans aren't there. They were holding signs up outside today, said we want Kentucky.
Spartans have to push. Down 8. Green, got to put it up. Fade away. Yes! 19 for Ty Green.
Okay, some strategy here now. If you're Upstate, want to try to get a quick trap and an immediate foul. If you're North Florida, want to take care of the basketball, you have any trouble, call a timeout. Time and possession now. Worst case scenario, you take care of the basketball, get fouled, go to the foul line. You don't want to turn the basketball over, so time and possession. Upstate, quick trap, and then an immediate foul.
Down 6. This is a team that shoots 34% from behind the line, but today USC Upstate has been held to just 4 for 13 from deep, less than 31%. Eddie Payne trying to draw something up. We're at the very beginning of reserving spots in the NCAA tournament. Belmont with a thriller last night. Former A-Sun member, by the way, coached by Rick Byrd. And Coastal Carolina coached by Cliff Ellis already today. I don't know if I've ever seen an atmosphere like this in the anticipation of what will happen in 26 seconds.
Been around college basketball a lot of years. This is as good as it gets. These students, these fans, this community is just ready to erupt, and a lot of credit to this North Florida team who has battled back a couple times in this game and really taken control with their defense.
Tom Hart alongside Mo Casero. We've got 26 seconds left to decide it. Spartans will put on full court pressure. They're going to deny everybody. Deep ball, looking for Nesbitt. Touchdown, North Florida, and a chance to run out the game. Moore is fouled from behind. There may not be a football team here on campus, but that was the best deep ball in the history of this program.
It sure was, and the Ospreys got a little bit lucky here, because if this ball went out of bounds, it would have been Spartans' ball underneath the basket. Quick, tightrope feet, and then a hustle play to keep it alive. Dallas Moore just has a knack and a nose for the basketball. Not only can he score, but just has the ability to always be in the right place at the right time. And now it's going to come down to free throws. Taking care of the basketball for North Florida.
Dallas Moore, first team all-conference guard to the free throw line for his head coach, Matthew Driscoll. Matthew Driscoll has done about everything building this program from a grassroots level. And now he is 22 seconds away from coaching an NCAA tournament team. The lead is 7, 20 left. Green opting for 2. Now the pressure. Quick foul by Shunquez Stevens, his fourth. Bo Beach to the free throw line. He's from Ponte Vedra High School. He used to come to this gym and watch his team in the stands. He is scoreless today, but he has played great defense. He has rebounded. 6-point lead. His first point. Green with 10. They're down 6, need a 3. Take it away! Ball still live. Jacksonville, let the party begin. The Ospreys have never danced like this before. Describe the emotion in this building. Our final score from Jacksonville, Florida. The Ospreys 63, Spartans 57. They're headed to the big dance for the first time ever. Now to Orlando, Florida for Major League Soccer.